If I tell you that I'm willing to pay you $24,000 a year for you being with me and you still look elsewhere, that means that you never wanted to earn this position anyway.
So how did she react when you said that logical explanation to her?
Oh, she was all the way for it. She had never heard it put in that way. I don't think
Yeah.
that I think that 95, maybe 95 to 97% of women never get a substantial offer from a man, because you still gotta remember that there's only 1% of wealth. Women get approached 20 to 30 times more than we do. So
Yeah.
that means that they hear bullshit offers
Mhm.
all goddamn day. So that was like a breath of fresh air for her to hear that. But what it did was it turned the tide. It turned the tide from it being that, because I don't play the prize game. I don't play I'm the prize. I don't play that game. I believe that when we come together and we both create our purposes and keep going in our purposes, when that child is born, that's the prize. When we win the Nobel Peace Prize as a couple, that's the prize. If I marry you and then I get to go into office in politics, that's the prize. But the who's the prize, men and women, that ain't nothing but a divide and conquer topic that's always going to be just a divisional thing. And I'm not with that. I'm all about us coming together. But her response was that that would be something that she would be willing to do, but it put her in a position to hold herself accountable. And what she had to realize was that, and what all women realize, is that we live two different lives.
Yeah.
So when I talk about that, they have a fear. Women have a financial fear of hitting rock bottom, but you can't hit rock bottom when your credit is on autopilot, when your passive income is on autopilot, and when your active income is on autopilot.
My whole thing is, I think women do have a financial fear, but I think that also stems from them just like being really bad with money. If I'm totally honest, man, like 80 to 90% of the consumer that out there in America is owned by women.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you ever experienced this, but when you try to talk something financial with the women, it's met with some type of like anger, or like, why are you talking to me about this? Like, you're not, like, as a man, you're not supposed to ask them about their finances. But I think it's a really good question, especially as a man, if you're serious about a woman, to get to know her finances and to get to know the type of habits she has, the type of woman you're dealing with, and if she has any debt that could potentially affect you. Because when you start getting into the topic of relationships and marriage, all of her debt and all of her bad financial habits now become your problem. And you either have to correct them throughout the marriage, or you just deal with it and figure out how to pay it off yourself as a man. Having financial conversations with women just typically haven't gone well for me.
Mhm.
But I think it's good to know for men out there who are dating that you need to have a woman who's willing to be aligned with your goals and your financial goals. And if you're entering a relationship or marriage, the main thing is not love. You don't enter a relationship or marriage just for love.
Mhm.
I think there has to be a bigger purpose. Your goals have to be aligned. You guys have to have a goal for this relationship or marriage.
Mhm.
Just being in it for love isn't really enough anymore. There's too much risk that you're taking on as a man, and there's too much risk that women are taking on when they enter these relationships, and they're not. And to me, I think the reason why most relationships and marriages are ending are because of financial reasons, and because they don't have similar goals in mind. Is the goal to build a family? Is the goal to build generational wealth? Okay, then, fuck your feelings. Let's
Mhm.
get to this goal.
Yeah.